Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to join the committee in congratulating you on your birthday. And all of us were witnesses to how quickly you blew out that candle, so maybe we can negotiate with Mr. Waxman for a carbon credit for you on that item, okay? First of all, I watched this morning, Mr. Borowski, the way you were attacked for releasing this committee. And I'd just like to say to you as one member of this committee, thank you for giving us the hard, cold facts. And I just hope that you remember that when you get attacked like that, when basically because you brought a message a lot of people didn't want to hear in this town, contrary to public belief, the ancient Egyptian tradition was to always send your best people to give bad news. Because the guys who were sent with the good news were sacrificed to thank the gods for the good news. So it should be a credit to you to understand that you're attacked because you are bringing this up. And I want to thank you very much for that. And I'm sure this, not just this committee, but the public at large is going to thank you for your report. The hard, cold facts do get into trouble. Speaking of footprints, the whole concept of looking at BlackRock and some of these the 9 players here, where the footprint of the federal government of picking winners in this whole game. Do you have any idea, or and if you don't and you need to have time, I understand, because you can get back to us in writing, how did these 9 major players get chosen as the winners in this game to be blessed, not just by the bureaucracy of the federal government, but by all the taxpayers in the federal government? How did these 9 players become the winners in this game as opposed to the other losers that were pointed out by the former mayor of Cleveland, Mr. Kucinich?
The Treasury's explanation is that they put out applications. They received about 140 applications. The next step was to remove duplicative applications or incomplete, and that came down to 102. They then applied the criteria, which they've put out on their website, of what they were looking for in the ideal asset managers. And basically, those that didn't meet that cut, I think they narrowed the number down to 13. They then did a series of interviews, and it ended up with the final 9. I think those are the numbers. I think the exact numbers are likely reflected in our report. And that is essentially how Treasury has described their process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just think this report really, again, reinforces the fact that we have ventured into a very, very scary territory, a brave new world where Washington decides what happens on Wall Street and Main Street. And hopefully we can somewhere in the future find a way to have an exit strategy and remove ourselves from imposing our footprint over the rest of American society. And I thank you very much for this report, because I think it's a dose of reality to make all of us work together here. And I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.